Ooh, that looks tasty.
Welcome folks, Today the Hungry Gamer is back with another mini preview, and today we are talking about Stakeout. And this is a game that I did the how to play video for. I'll kind of have it playing up there in the corner, but if you want to learn how to play this game, then you can go check out that video. I think it's pretty darn clear. But at its core, this is a game where each player is a film noir style detective, and you are in a race to close three cases, but not just close three cases, close the best cases. And the way this is going to work is you're going to have a dice pool, and every turn you're going to roll two, sometimes more dice, depending on what kind of cards you play, what cards you use and have. And you're going to use those dice to either open an investigation on a card. Each card at the bottom has a bunch of numbers, and you have to put those dice on there to claim that piece of investigation or that piece of evidence or the testimony or whatever it may be. Or you can spend dice to kind of advance your stakeout car, which you move your car along the board, and what that's going to do is it's going to let you later on get new hot tip cards, which are bonus cards, or a single die that you can set to whatever number that you would like it to be. Or you're going to get private leads, meaning cards that only you are going to be able to investigate. And each different card you're investigating will have a character with some fluff text, some fun little noir style stuff, and it's going to say at the bottom what you need to close the case. It might be a piece of evidence and a location, whatever. And when you get those two things, you've closed that case and you move on to the next one. And also each of these cases has a single power that you're going to be able to use. Maybe it will allow you to adjust some dice, maybe it will allow you to use less dice to open investigations, things like that. And then whoever is the first to close three cases, that'll end the game, and then you'll see how many points each of your cases happen to be worth. And that's it. That's how this game's going to work. So what do I like about the game? I like that it's a fun race. It's a race is what it is. It's who can use their dice in the best way to close the cases the fastest. But it's a race that you can still win even if you lose. And what I mean by that is it's not about necessarily just doing the cases the fastest. Sometimes it's about the quality of the cases, not the quantity, and so you can win even if you did not close all three of your cases. In fact, the last time I played, Mrs. Hungry Gamer beat me even though I finished first. Next thing I'll say is, I think it's a clever use of dice in that there's very minimal dice mitigation. Usually in a dice placement game, there's ways you can adjust your dice, move them around. There's not a lot of that in this game, but because of the way the private leads work, because of the way the stakeout works, there's always something to do with your dice. And sometimes maybe it's not as satisfying as you want because you want to put a bunch of dice out there, but there's always something that you can do with minimal changing the numbers of the dice. And I think that's pretty darn clever. Next thing I'll say, I like the art and the theme. It's got that noir style to it. And the game itself, it just has character. And it's just the little bits of fluff text that you're getting, the names of the people that you're investigating. It has a lot of charm in its film noir way, and I really do enjoy that. And last thing I'll say, it's quick, it's light, it's hard to be offended by it. It's just a fun little game. Which brings me to what are my quibbles with the game. The first thing is, as I just mentioned, there's not a lot of mitigation that you can do, and that might just get under your skin. There's some people that you really want to be able to mitigate your dice, and fair enough. This is not a game that has a ton of it. It does have it. In those hot tip cards, you can get more of those cards and have more options to do that, but there's not a ton of mitigation in there. Next thing I'll say is, each game is the same arc. You're chucking your dice, you're trying to move it, and you're getting them on the cards, you're getting the cards, and you're done. And I think for me, that's okay because this is a quick, fast little game, but it's going to be the same arc every game, and it's just a fun experience to do and trying to figure out how to make the best use of the situation that you have in hand. Next, I'll say, I think this game is probably best at 2 to 3 players, and that's because at that player count, there is almost no downtime. You roll your 2 dice, maybe a few more, and you're going to put them out, and there's just not a lot of choices, which means the game is just popping on along, and I really, really enjoy that. I think if you're playing with 4, you might have a little bit of time where you're like, oh, okay, I did my 2 dice, and now I'm waiting for a little bit. And you're not going to be waiting for long, but I just think it's probably best at 2 to 3 players. And so next, I've already hinted at this, there's not a lot of depth to this game. And I don't think it needs to have a lot of depth. I think there are lots of games that aren't deep. I think of a game like Seven Wonders Duel or something like that, or a game I love, Murray the A-Hole Frog. There's not a lot of depth to it. I do like to always make sure I point that out, just so you know it's not something you're gonna get a whole day around. This is a game you're just gonna pull out for a quick, fun time. And then the only other thing I'll say is I do wish there was some way to differentiate each player from the other. And I don't know if that is an identity for your investigator or something like that that just allows you to have another power. Because it's very cool that each client brings a power with it. It would be cool if each investigator also had some kind of power to go with it as well. But there you have it, folks. That is Stakeout. I liked it. I think it's a fun little game. And yeah, that's all I have to say about it. It's a fun little game, and I'm looking forward to playing it when it funds and arrives at some point in the next year or so. So there you have it, folks. That is Stakeout. As always, if you found this video useful, please like, subscribe, share, maybe become a channel member. As always, thank you so much for watching. Have a wonderful, wonderful day.